Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Welcome to my upload of the month. And also the year is looking like. This video was supposed to come out in 2023, but I got the flu, so I couldn't. But we are doing the prediction video for 2024. Last year I did this, so in this video I'm going to go over that one, as well as going over this one. Oh, okay. And we're going to check how closely to reality my guesses were. And we're also going to do the golden tickets and stuff like that. Let's get started. To start off, we're going to go with the just my predictions in general, like what's going to be the most overrated, underrated, stuff like that. Last year I predicted for this one, the first coaster to open, I predicted that Pipeline the Surf Coaster would be the first to open, but it didn't open until May 27th, which is kind of late into the year. Because of this, the winner of this award is actually Gold Mine Train at Happy Valley, which opened on the 7th of the new year. If you want to disqualify this, because it's not a North American coaster, if you want to just talk about that one, then you would be talking Aquaman Power Wave, which opened on March 11th. For the last to open, I technically hit the dot, but also kind of overshot it. This is because I chose the two Chance Rides coasters going to Mattel Adventure Park, which neither of them opened, with no opening date in sight. I'm hoping those do open though. For my sleeper pick, I went with Gotham City Escape due to a North American bias of the coaster community. Even though I do believe this was a sleeper pick because there are much more there's much more praise about this than there was when it was announced. It has to go to Pipeline the Surf Coaster. Without spoiling anything for later on. From personal experience, this coaster was a really, really, really good coaster, winning the sleeper pick due to that. Plus also basically everyone saying that the layout was going to be bad and stand-up coasters suck. And that kind of was very much wrong. For the most overrated coaster, I said that Wildcat's Revenge would be the most overhyped new coaster coming in 2023. While some may say that this lived up to expectations or was slightly under, I don't think it's fair to call this the most overrated coaster. Personally, I believe this reward goes to Zambezi Zinger, due to its multiple difficulties as a new prototype. This placement comes primarily from the trains, which were hyped as very interesting before the announcement, but after all that could be heard were complaints about the how hard the seats were and the kind of restraint of the restraints. Yeah, basically, yeah. Now that we completed that, let's go on to the rigged tickets. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a typo. Golden tickets. For the best park, I had Cedar Point winning this from a bounce back year when they invested a lot of money into the park. Turns out, no, that's not how it works. It goes to the host, Dollywood. And because of that, because they were the host, they won the best park. Yay! That was definitely not very disappointing. And as I predicted, for the best steal, the voters didn't feel to change their minds, ruling that Fury 325 is the best steel coaster. Can't debate on that, but please, have some originality. To be different, I stated that El Toro would win the golden ticket for Best Woody, but like normal, Phoenix won. Again! For Best New Coaster, I sent a long shot with America Dry Looping, a coaster that may not even be qualified due to it being a relocated coaster. But it was not disqualified because of that, but for another reason. It didn't open, which is very fun. It should be opening fairly soon. Instead, Wildcat's Revenge won the golden ticket, despite losing the best new installation to Air Force One. Now onto the fun part from last year, our 2024 prediction, not 2024, our 2023 predictions and announcements for this upcoming year. I predicted that Accelerator, Hurler, and Possessed would all receive the axe this year, but luckily, all were saved, with Accelerator reopening late into the year, and Hurler getting a major retrack. Instead, we saw coasters such as Fire in the Hole, T3, Tidal Twister, and Alpine bobsleds close or announce closures. I then predicted which parks would announce new coasters and and I was correct with 3 parks but only 1 coaster model. I predicted Universal Studios Hollywood to get an Intamin multi-dimension coaster, which was announced for 2025. I also predicted that Busch Gardens Tampa would be getting an Intamin Strato coaster. Instead, they get a B&M Family Invert. The 2 other were an RMC Hurler, which was saved, and Six Flags Great Adventure getting a coaster, which was a Vekoma Super Boomerang. Other coasters announced were 2 family Vekoma Boomerangs for Kings Island and Holiday World, and a Gravity Group wooden coaster for Six Flags Great Escape. Who could have believed that? I'll go over my bold prediction later, but for now, let's get into my predictions for 2024. We will start with the Golden Ticket Awards, even though they are extremely rigged. For Best Park, it's tempting to go with the host park, Kennywood, but on the other hand, Kennywood is seriously not a competitor for the Best Park. Because of this, I have the Golden Ticket return to its rightful owner, Europa Park. I see this happening with the addition of the Nikola Tesla section of the park with Voltron. Once again, I'm going to stick and pick for the winner of the Golden Ticket for Best Steel Coaster. That being said, I'm going with Fury 321. Yeah, 325. For the Best Wooden Coaster, I will give some home field advantage to this award, like how you cannot sell out a park hosting. Because of this, I see the Golden Ticket Award for Best Woody going to Jackrabbit, purely off the fact that the event is being hosted at Kennywood. Finally, because I'm not doing the scam tickets, we will have the Best New Coaster ticket. I do believe that this one will be a toss-up due to a serious lack of extreme coasters being announced in 2024. Because of this, I have the award leaving the States and going to Voltron. I believe this due to the fact that Europa Park is the only European park to win these tickets, plus it seems to be a pretty good coaster. Now on to my predictions for the timelines and reviews of the coasters coming in 2024. Starting with the first to open. While it's tempting to go with one of the pushovers from the past few years, I wonder when I've said that, maybe in last year's video, which you can go watch even though you kind of already been spoiled. I don't think that's likely when you look at those projects and like to what extent they're being like made and stuff like that. Because of that, I think the first coaster to open in 2024 is going to be Flash Speed Force at Warner Brothers Movie World. I think this is the best option because of the scale of the coaster, which isn't the highest. Plus, the park has the highest incentive to open ASAP. My apologies, because it is summer in Australia right now, and the longer they wait, the conditions get worse. Now, for the last to open, it's easy to just pick one of the Codaland Parks coasters, but I don't think they're gonna actually be the last to open because they may actually have a chance to open this year. The last coaster I think that's gonna open is either Flash or Ultra Splash. The Ultra Splash going to Six Flags parks. But personally, I'm gonna go with Over Georgia that's getting the Ultra Splash. I believe this because the coaster doesn't have a name. That's not very good if you ask me. And second, the coaster hasn't broken ground, something that should have happened to get these coasters done in time. To be fair, Six Flags has shown us that you don't have to get a coaster starting to get it open. It's very possible that this coaster gets pushed back into 2025 just purely off the name. The sleeper pick is relatively hard to go with because unlike other years, most coasters are family and not thrill coasters. But I do believe that 2 coasters are not getting the attention. The only question is if they will open in 2024. Those are 2 circuit. Those 2 are Circuit Breaker and Hot Wheels Twin Mill Racers, as both may be really good coasters, but the hype has gone down due to the wait that has been required to get these coasters open. But the one that I'm gonna have to choose is Hot Wheels Twin Mills Racers, because this one we don't even know what the layout looks like. So people are like, oh, it may be good, but at the same time, it may be bad. So I have a feeling that people are gonna. This is like being very underrated. Hopefully, I'm correct about that. If not, I'm gonna be very very upset. Either way, I do think this is gonna be a really good coaster just in general, but who knows if is gonna live up to even the slightest amount of hype that is even on this coaster. Now to my favorite, which ruffles up a lot of feathers, the most overrated, not overhyped slash overrated coaster, which is very obvious to me. Flash Vertical Velocity. This isn't because of the layout, which is fine. My problem is the capacity, which will be very low with a small train and a 4-minute and 14-second runtime just from this, like the drop of the station. That doesn't even include any boarding or anything like that. This doesn't take into account that is a very small train also, which is gonna ruin capacity for this coaster, which I think is gonna end up making a lot of people very salty about this coaster. Like, it's okay, it's good, but I don't want to wait. I don't want to have to wait in that line, and that's gonna drop it on a lot of people's lists. Now into the fun part, which is predicting what coasters get announced and which ones get the axe. We'll start with the coasters that I expect to close, and then move on to the coasters I expect to be announced. It's sad to see coasters go, but it's required to get new ones. Some of these are classics, while others are just beyond poor rides. The one I'm the most confident about is Knott's other launch coaster, Montezuma's Revenge. This is a sad one to see go, but it's been sitting idle for months with cobwebs showing up on what's left of the coaster. The long-expected Montezuma refurb will be what kills the coaster. Ironic. The next coaster I have going is Demon at Six Flags Great America. This is because of the weird rumors around the coaster, plus it seems the park is on track for a new coaster in 2025 or 2026. The final coaster I'm going to murder in broad daylight is Flight Deck at Canada's Wonderland. This prediction is purely due to the poll that was sent out to park guests asking what coasters they would like to see come next. But let's get past killing coasters and get on to new ones. Yay! Even though I predict more coasters than I'm gonna state, I'm only gonna say 4 parks that I actually predict getting a new coaster. Let's start on the West Coast and move east. To start, I have Six Flags Magic Mountain getting some sort of coaster. My personal favorite would be a Vekoma family launched coaster. With Cedar Fair and Six Flags working with each other, and also working with Vekoma this very year, I won't find it hard for both executives to agree. Plus, the park doesn't have a launch coaster that isn't purely thrills. This coaster will go in the plot of the former Golden Bear Theater, which has been marked for demolition. The next park I'm going to predict to get a new coaster is Canada's Wonderland, which will be getting the GCI Spiral coaster similar to Zambezi Zinger. I think this fits into the park as it gives the park a decent wooden coaster that the entire family will enjoy. Plus, when presenting the options to this one was done the best. Probably an attempt to attract more people like, ooh, look at this one, it looks so nice. The other ones kind of look bad though, so I'm going to choose this one. The next parks I have, I've already mentioned on this channel a good amount of getting a coaster in this year or the year after next. And the first one I'm going to mention is King's Dominion, which is going to be getting that leaked B&M wing coaster that I mentioned a couple weeks ago. Actually, a couple months ago now. With how the plans looked, I would assume that the coaster is near completion on the design side, and is just waiting final approval from the city. And the companies in between, approval from the city and the companies in between. There is some concern that with the Six Flags merger, that things got canceled. But if anything, I think the merger would make a higher chance of getting something because King's Dominion is only in competition with Busch Gardens Williamsburg now. And speaking of Busch Gardens Williamsburg, They're also in line for a new coaster, a B&M Family Invert. I can hear the crickets. This is going to be going in the old Drachenfire spot, also known as the Drachenspire spot, and the spot of the Iron Gwazi like RMC hybrid. But a B&M Family Invert, because we already got the leaks. Yay. You can tell how happy we are. This would make sense with the other two family B&Ms coming to the SeaWorld chain. It is just very much of a letdown, to be honest. But it could fit with the park, like, oh, look at, we brought back Big Bad Wolf, but it may just flop on his face. Before I let you guys go, we have to go over my bold prediction from last year and also for this year. Last year I predicted that the cheap Salim Basul would fill his parks with Skyline Sky Warps, but luckily he decided to spend a little more money than he was comfortable with and get better clones, making my prediction a fail. And now with the Six Flags merger, this prediction has zero chance of being completed. This year, I'm going to make a bold prediction based on the Six Flags merger again. Due to the Six Flags merger, SeaWorld Entertainment will attempt to make some sort of splash catch-up with the new Six Flags chain. This can be interpreted loosely, but what I mean is that either announce a new park or merger, plus slash either or. Purchase another park or slash chain. I don't know how likely this is, but SeaWorld needs to do something to get equal with Six Flags. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, hit the like button and subscribe. I recorded this with a really bad headache, so give me a like for that. And hit the subscribe button for that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.